Most runners don't lose the marathon at mile 20. They lose it every Sunday morning, quietly, without realizing it. The run they trust the most is training their body to fail at the exact moment it matters. And once you see why, you can never train the same way again. Sunday morning. The street is quiet, the watch is reset, and in your head, there is only one thought. This is the run that will make me a marathoner. The first kilometers feel smooth, your breathing is calm, your stride feels confident. You tell yourself this is discipline, this is commitment, this is what serious runners do. But somewhere later, quietly, without warning, everything changes. Your pace slips, your shoulders tighten, your legs stop responding the way they did an hour ago. By the final kilometers, you are no longer training, you are negotiating. One step at a time, one excuse at a time. When you finally stop the watch, exhausted and empty, you feel a strange sense of pride. You survived. And that's the problem, because survival is exactly what you just trained for. Most runners believe long runs are about distance, pain, and grit. But what if the very runs you trust the most are secretly teaching your body how to fail, slowly, predictably, right when it matters most on race day? This is Run Force Mindset. Welcome. If you care about running smarter, not just harder, subscribe to the channel so we can continue bringing you training insights that actually change results. Before we continue, answer this in the comments. A. Long runs should simulate race suffering. B. Long runs should build performance without destruction. Comment A or B below. Why do most marathoners fail? If that question made you hesitate, it's because the real problem isn't effort, it's the story. Marathon training has been telling you for years. Most runners who fall apart late in the race are not lazy, undisciplined, or undertrained. In fact, they are usually the most committed ones. They never skip long runs. They push through fatigue. They collect mileage like proof of dedication. And yet, when the race reaches its decisive moments, their bodies betray them in the same predictable way. That failure doesn't happen on race day. It happens quietly, week after week, in training. The popular belief is simple. More miles equal more readiness. If the long run hurts, it must be working. If you finish exhausted, you must be improving. But physiology doesn't reward suffering. It rewards adaptation. Adaptation only occurs when stress is applied intentionally. When long runs are slow, drained, and directionless, they don't build resilience. They rehearse collapse. They teach your nervous system how to move when depleted, how to shorten stride under stress, and how to accept slowing down as normal. Over time, your body learns that this is its default response to fatigue. So when race day arrives, nothing unexpected happens. You don't hit the wall. You arrive exactly where your training has been guiding you all along. This isn't a personal failure. It's a systemic one. And once you accept that the system is broken, the next question becomes unavoidable. What is the long run actually supposed to do? A long run is not a test of character. It is not a punishment for wanting to run a marathon. And it is certainly not a weekly reenactment of race day suffering. Its purpose is far more specific and far less emotional. The true job of the long run is to trigger deep aerobic adaptation while keeping damage under control. It is meant to strengthen the engine, not drain it. When executed correctly, a long run improves how efficiently your body uses oxygen, how smoothly your muscles coordinate under steady stress, and how reliably your metabolism shifts toward fat as fuel. These adaptations happen best when effort is controlled and form remains intact. Once effort drifts too high or duration stretches too far, the equation flips. Hormonal balance shifts toward breakdown. Muscle fibers accumulate damage faster than they can repair. The nervous system loses precision. Instead of building capacity, you spend days recovering from a single workout. At that point, training stops being productive. A long run should leave you tired but functional, challenged but not compromised. If it consistently leaves you depleted, sore, and mentally drained, it is no longer serving its purpose. It is simply consuming your ability to train again. How far is far enough? And the moment you understand that the long run is about adaptation, not endurance theater, the obsession with distance starts to fall apart. For decades, runners have been told that marathon readiness requires heroic mileage, especially in the longest runs. 35 kilometers, 38, sometimes more. These numbers sound impressive, but physiology does not recognize symbolism. It only responds to time under stress. There is a point where extending a long run no longer creates meaningful aerobic benefit. Past that point, the cost rises sharply while the return diminishes. Recovery takes longer. Quality training sessions are compromised. Instead of building fitness, you spend the following days trying to repair damage. That is why effective marathon training places a firm ceiling on long-run distance. Faster runners reach that ceiling at around 32 kilometers. Slower runners reach it earlier, around 28. Not because they are weaker, but because the duration pushes them into a zone where breakdown outpaces adaptation. Longer does not mean better. It simply means harder to recover from. And once distance is no longer the obsession, another illusion becomes clear. Complexity has been mistaken for intelligence. Many runners try to control marathon training with layers of metrics, heart rate zones, effort scales, and sensations that change from day to day. What starts as guidance quickly becomes noise. Under fatigue, those signals blur and decision-making collapses. The body does not need more interpretation, it needs clarity. Marathon training becomes simpler and more effective when everything is anchored to one reference point: marathon pace. Not an abstract feeling, not a fluctuating heart rate, but a concrete, repeatable speed tied directly to race day demands. This pace represents the intensity you must sustain when it matters most. By locking long runs to marathon pace and its controlled variations, you remove guesswork. You stop negotiating with fatigue and start training with intention. Precision replaces emotion. Consistency replaces confusion. The marathon rewards accuracy far more than bravery. When the pace is clear, every long run becomes purposeful rather than experimental. And once marathon pace becomes your anchor, the structure of the long run finally comes into focus. The first long run that truly matters is built on restraint. This is the run executed at 30 seconds slower than your marathon pace, a margin that feels almost too conservative to runners who equate progress with struggle. Yet this controlled gap is exactly what allows adaptation to occur without collateral damage. At this pace, the aerobic system is challenged steadily but not overwhelmed. Fuel utilization becomes more efficient. Muscles learn to maintain coordination over time instead of compensating under fatigue. The run finishes with tired legs, not broken ones. You are able to recover quickly and return to quality training in the days that follow. This type of long run typically falls between 21 and 25 kilometers. It belongs after demanding training weeks, when the body needs reinforcement rather than punishment. It is not designed to impress, and it rarely feels heroic. Its value lies in how consistently it builds capacity while preserving the ability to train again. But if that controlled pace is all you ever practice, another problem quietly takes shape. The body adapts precisely to what it is asked to do. When every long run is held safely below race demand, endurance grows, but sharpness fades. You become efficient at moving steadily, yet unfamiliar with the tension and precision required closer to marathon pace. Fatigue feels manageable, but speed feels fragile. Over time, this creates a runner who can go long, but not fast for long. The engine is strong, yet it has never been tested under meaningful load. When race day demands a higher level of coordination, fueling accuracy, and mental focus, the system hesitates. Not because it is weak, but because it has never been challenged in that specific way. This is where many disciplined runners plateau. They do everything right, yet something is missing. Endurance alone does not prepare you to perform. Without exposure to controlled intensity, the body never learns how to sustain quality when fatigue begins to accumulate. That missing element is addressed by a second, very deliberate form of the long run. This run is executed closer to marathon pace, held at just 15 seconds per kilometer slower peso. The difference may seem small on paper, but physiologically, it is profound. At this intensity, the body is forced to manage fuel, posture, and rhythm under stress that closely resembles race conditions, without crossing into full race damage. These runs are shorter by design, typically 18 to 23 kilometers, because quality deteriorates quickly once fatigue overwhelms form. The objective is not to survive the distance, but to sustain control as effort rises. Each kilometer becomes a test of efficiency rather than endurance. This long run belongs after lighter training weeks, when freshness allows the body to absorb the stimulus. It sharpens speed endurance and exposes weaknesses before race day does. Done correctly, It builds confidence grounded in physiology, not hope. And once both types of long runs are understood, the real skill of marathon training reveals itself in how they are combined. These runs are not interchangeable, and they are never chosen in isolation. The quality of a long run is dictated by the load that comes before it. After a demanding week filled with intensity or volume, the body needs consolidation, not confrontation. That is when the more controlled long run belongs. After a lighter week, when fatigue is lower and coordination is sharper, the more demanding long run can be absorbed. This rhythm is what protects progress. Without it, runners stack stress blindly, confusing courage with discipline. Fitness does not grow in straight lines, it grows through intelligent variation. Each week should set up the next, not compete with it. When long runs are placed with intention, they stop being a gamble. They become a predictable stimulus, one that strengthens the body without eroding its ability to train again. This is where planning begins to matter more than effort. And when this rhythm is respected over time, there comes a moment when the longest run has to be faced, but only once. There is a powerful misconception that repeating extremely long runs builds certainty. In reality, certainty comes from precision, not repetition. The peak long run exists to complete adaptation, not to test limits. It is executed one time, 4 weeks before race day, when fitness is high and recovery time still exists. Its distance is capped deliberately, 32 kilometers for faster runners, 28 for slower ones, and it is run at a controlled aerobic pace, never faster. The goal is not exhaustion, but confirmation. You finish knowing that your preparation is complete, not questioning whether you went too far. This run acts as a physical and psychological landmark. From that point forward, training shifts toward consolidation and taper. Nothing beyond it adds readiness. Everything beyond it only adds risk. And once that final landmark is passed, the way you think about training begins to change. Vague labels no longer serve you. Words like slow, moderate, and fast feel imprecise, almost careless, for a goal as demanding as the marathon. They describe effort, but they do not define intent. And without intent, consistency collapses under fatigue. In their place, a simpler and more disciplined language takes over. Every long run is now understood through its relationship to marathon pace. One exists to build, the other exists to sharpen. Each has a clear role, a clear cost, and a clear reward. This shift does more than organize workouts, it reshapes identity. You stop running by mood or impulse and start executing by design. Training becomes quieter, less emotional, and far more effective. When the language becomes precise, the body follows, confusion disappears, and confidence replaces it. And when confusion is replaced by clarity, the marathon stops feeling mysterious. At that point, training is no longer about proving toughness or collecting suffering. It becomes an act of execution. Every long run has a reason. Every pace has a purpose. Nothing is wasted, and nothing is left to chance. This is the difference between surviving the marathon and racing it. Most runners go out hoping their preparation holds together. Athletes arrive knowing it will sing. That confidence is not emotional. It is earned through precision and restraint. If you are ready to stop guessing, stop copying generic plans, and start training with intent, then you are already thinking like a marathoner who finishes strong. At its core, this system teaches a simple but powerful truth. Progress is not created by doing more, but by doing what matters with precision. The marathon exposes whatever you repeatedly practice. If you train chaos, you race chaos. If you train intention, you race with control. This principle extends far beyond running. In work, health, and personal growth, effort without structure leads to burnout, while focused actions compound into real results. Choose fewer priorities, apply them deliberately, and give yourself time to recover and adapt. That is how strength is built for the long term. Now, a quick question for you. Do you believe success comes more from working harder or from working with clearer structure? Please share your answer in the comments so we can learn from each other. And if this content brought value, subscribe to the channel to support us in creating more thoughtful, practical insights like this.